Logically, I'm the one, not the 2, 3. Mind so good, I be moving stress free. Every time I drop, you won't have a think piece. Never forcing no vibe, I'm just doing me. They be like, where you from? The Bury. Got my own sauce, in control of my story. Walk through like a boss, I ain't worried. Haitian girl, name Neff, what a dream. It's your girl Neff from the bar, and we back with another episode of Logical Minds. We are on episode 66, I believe. Let me check. I believe we are on episode 66. Yes, we are. And how you guys been? I've been coolin', chillin', vibing per usual, trying to get back on my regimen. Just want to give y'all a little update. I'm doing really well as far as Logical Minds in the background because I'm going to be developing something soon, and I will have it posted up real soon, and I will be saying what it is that I'm doing. I just want to wait until I'm finished before I start actually talking about it because there's a lot of background detail stuff that I have to do before expressing it and saying exactly what it is. But I'm very excited. I'm very grateful for the opportunity. And also something else, I'm enrolled in school. So I'm going to be going to Full Sail University for audio production, the bachelor's program. And it's for music. I've been doing music since I was in 10th grade. That's when I started picking up the clarinet. And I've always had music in my everyday life. And it's no longer in my everyday life other than listening to my own music or listening to other people's music who I love so much. And I just feel very grateful to know that there's a school out there that represents what I want to do in life. My sister graduated from Full Sail last summer, and it was such a good experience. Like, it was so cool seeing her graduate from a school that she knew that was going to help her develop her creative ideas and develop her talents, because she's very talented, and I'm grateful to be enrolled there. And I'm going to be starting school very soon. And again, I do have my mixtape dropping out very soon. I don't have an official date yet, just because y'all know I've been going through it, in and out the ward and stuff like that. Like, I'm just trying to keep myself stable, and I'm trying to keep myself direct, and I'm definitely going to be doing what I need to be doing real soon as far as my mixtape. My mixtape will be dropping out this year. And just a little teaser, I'm going to be dropping 2 mixtapes this year because that's how I'm feeling. It's going to be 11 songs each. So it'll be 21 songs that I'll be releasing this year just so that people can hear who I am as far as music-wise and just getting myself out there. Because I have 66 podcast episodes now, and I'll have 2 mixtapes, and it's like, wow. And I already have 2 music videos dropped. And I'm going to be developing more music videos as the year continues and things of that sort. And I'm just very grateful for the opportunity to express myself through the podcast and through my music. So yeah, let's get right into it. We're healing the Sacral Chakra, part 2. And we're going to start off by reading a section in the book about the Sacral Chakra. All right, the sacral plexus chakra is all about connecting with your emotions, creative expression, sexuality, and abundance in healthy ways. The following meditations, crystal techniques, essential oil applications, and yoga postures will help you connect with what may be holding in this chakra. And most importantly, will initiate connection with this energy vortex within you. You may be open to the wisdom that it holds. And yeah, that's about it. Everything else is about the meditations and the yoga and the essential oils. And as y'all could do your own research, because I just read some of the book. And, because again, this is the chakra healing book. And we're on the sacral chakra. We're on the last week. Today is the last day of me meditating and using vibrations. I have my vibrations on right now. About the sacral chakra, it feels really nice to know that the sacral chakra was something that I needed to learn how to be in, because I'm in my creative abilities, but I'm learning that I can have a break, if that makes sense, because I've been putting out a lot of my energy into creating the podcast and creating my music, And I'm very grateful because that lets me know that I'm focusing on myself and I'm focusing on my brand and my career and what I want to accomplish in this lifetime. I want to accomplish a lot. And I'm back in the gym also. I went to the gym 3 times this week, and I'm very proud of myself because I have not worked out in 7 weeks. Y'all know why, because of the award. But it's all good. We're here and we're thriving and we're doing the best that we can. So yeah, let's get right into the questions. The first question is, what times have I shared to be considered the most intimate? The most intimate for me is sharing that I'm making a mixtape, because that's intimate, to be able to have music that you created, that you put your own spin on as far as your own style, and letting people hear it for the first time is something that is very intimate to me, because music is very intimate. Number 2, what motivates you to make more money? What motivates me is to have my own place. I'm still currently living at home with my mom and my sister, and I just want to be able to establish my own grounds and my own crib. I want to live by myself. I deserve that. I don't have any kids. I don't have any real responsibilities. I have real responsibilities. What am I saying? I just don't have kids. That's what I mean to say. And I want to be able to have my own space while I'm focusing on school, while I do my business in the background, and while I still continue my podcast and still continue my music and still continue my working out, because I really love working out. I have a lot that I want to accomplish in all those categories, and I'm just very grateful to know that those are the things that I care about. So yeah, that's what motivates me to make more money. Question number 3, what is a recent time where you felt rewarded by how I was? We're gonna skip that question, because what was a recent time where you felt rewarded by your interest? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. There we go. The time I felt rewarded would be when did I feel rewarded? I'll say making music. Like, a reward of making music is having a song that you can listen to over and over again, because I stem with music. When I really like a song, I listen to it over and over again. And that's exactly what I was doing when it came down to my own music. I love my music. I listen to it all the time. And I've been listening to my music the most. These past couple of weeks, I've just been listening to my own music. And it feels really nice to know that I'm just in my own world, if that makes sense. Now, I don't listen to my own podcast the way I should, because I after I just upload it and go about my business, because I'm just all about trying to stay consistent, because I do it every week. But I will start listening to my own pod very soon, because I want to listen to what the things that I said and how I said it and what I was thinking about at the time, because yeah. Question number 4, what do you fantasize about most often? I fantasize about having my own house, about having my own family, my own career that's on a trajectory of going up. I fantasize of having plaques on my wall from the music that I create. I fantasize about having dreams of playing lacrosse, of still playing lacrosse, because I love lacrosse. Lacrosse is my sport. I fantasize just traveling, going from country to country, and being able to eat good foods and be able to experience a life with my partner. That is very special to me. That's what I fantasize. Number 5, how do you express yourself artistically? Artistically, I express myself through the podcast and through my music and through lacrosse. I express myself through lacrosse a lot, but that's sport wise. That's athletically. That's not artistically. Artistically would be through music. I express myself through music a lot. I feel like music to me is like a therapy. Ever since I started making music, I've been feeling myself more, and as far as the things that I care about in life, and I'm just very grateful to know that I can make music to help me breathe. Like, to help me understand, like, oh, okay, like, I'm talking about some shit that I went through, so it feels nice to feel validated to hear myself say it on a good beat at that. So music is really cool. Question number 6. How can we do to make more comfortable? How can I make myself more comfortable? Okay, we're going to skip that question. Question number 7. When have you felt it was hard to love yourself, and how did you move past this feeling? The last time that I felt like I couldn't love myself was, I'll say year 2023, because last year I feel like I did a good year loving myself. Even coming into this year, I feel like I did a good year loving myself, because I've been very focused on myself the most out of all years this year. But I'll say 2023. This is when I was working at Purdue. I was very low. I was still posting on the pod, but I was like going in and out. I wasn't being very consistent the way that I should have been, and I wasn't being consistent as far as loving myself the way I should have, and just paying attention to myself the way I should have. How did I move past this feeling? By staying consistent with words of affirmations, by staying consistent in the gym, by staying consistent with the podcast, just by staying consistent with all the stuff that I care about, period. Because repetition of what you want to do is going to lead you to the path that you want. So I just know that the path that I want to create my podcast. I want to create music. I want to create new looks that I have, if that makes sense. And I just feel like that's just how I feel. Because I know when it comes to loving yourself, it's consistently doing it. It's not just for the day or for an Instagram post or things of that sort. So, yeah. Question number 8. What were you doing the last time you felt super sexy? The last time I felt super sexy was for my birthday, for my 23rd birthday, and for Nicki Minaj's concert. I felt very sexy. But for my birthday, I felt very sexy because I was in Houston and I had these cute fits on. I had all my fits were from Fashion Nova, and I felt very nice, very, very cutesy, very demure, and it felt really nice to have cute outfits lined up and to go to different places, different restaurants, and to meet new people. It felt really nice. For the most part, that's when I felt the last super sexy. And I felt super sexy going to Nicki's concert. It was literally probably like a week after my birthday. So around that time, it was around Virgo season. So I always feel sexy around Virgo season because that's my sign. I'm big Virgo in this bitch. I'm a Virgo. Don't forget it. I'm a Virgo. And it was just Earth Day. And I know it's still Taurus. Oh, it's Taurus season, by the way. We was just in Aries season. Aries season was the beginning. And now we're in the second sign of the season, which is Taurus season, which is really nice. Taurus season has always been nice to me. I feel like I fuck with Tauruses. I understand Tauruses. They have their own life. They have their own perceptions, and they do them. And I feel like I do the same. Me being an earth sign, Virgo, I'm the second earth sign. And I believe I'm the 7th or 8th sign, but I can't think of the top of my head right now. But yeah, I'm a Virgo. Yeah. Question number 9. What do you consider to be your secrets to success? Honestly speaking, secrets to success is staying consistent, putting yourself on a regimen, giving yourself a timeline as far as what you want to do. Like, I give myself a timeline to record every Thursday, but yesterday I was busy because I was doing a photo shoot. I was doing a photo shoot for the podcast, and y'all will see the pictures real soon. But yeah, I've been busy. I've been doing me, and I just been keeping myself on a tight-knit schedule as far as what I want to do. And today's Friday and I'm still recording. It's still going to be uploaded on Sunday just because I'm prioritizing the things that make sense to me. And consistency is really what it is. When you tell yourself to do something consistently, that's when things will start working in your favor, because you realize the more you do it, the better you'll be, the better you'll get, and the more focused you'll be, because the better you get, the more focused you'll be, if that makes sense. Okay, so question number 10. What happened the last time you overreacted, or how did you wish you had handled the situation? So as y'all know, I overreacted when I was at my old friend's house and I got EP'd, which is when the police takes you to the hospital. I wish I would have just left when they said that he didn't know me when he acted like he didn't know me, I could have just acted like, okay, whatever. I should have just left. I should have never stayed and just kept talking. I should have never did that, but I did that. And it is what it is. All I can do is look back at that situation and realize that anger can lead you to places that you didn't mean to take yourself, but you just ended up there because that's just what happened, if that makes sense. So I just wish I would have just left. As soon as he said he didn't know me, I just wish I would have left. Me personally. All right. Now, that was just a set of 10 questions. Now we're going to get into the shadow work. The shadow work is called the fear of being seen. All right. So it says, what parts of me longs to bloom but doesn't feel safe enough to be seen? Often the most luminous, I don't know if I'm saying that word right, LOL, parts of us are also the most buried because they are misunderstood. Ridiculed, I don't know if I'm saying that right, or ashamed in the past, or are too muchness of our creative impulses and our softness and our boldness and our strange. What part of me feels alive but only in private? The sexy, seductive me, that's who I feel like is alive in private, but in public, I don't bring that out because I don't need to be doing all that because I'm already a woman and I feel like talking already feels like I'm being seductive, but I'm really not. I know when I'm being seductive and I know when I'm not being seductive. When did I learn that it wasn't safe to fully be expressed, to be fully expressed? I learned at a young age. As long as I could remember, I learned at a young age in my house, I could not fully express myself how I wanted to because they didn't like that. They always felt like because I was a kid, I didn't deserve to express myself. I didn't deserve to ask questions. I didn't deserve to have statements or anything to say. Even if they were talking shit about me, I couldn't defend myself. And that would be so frustrating because then it's like, what type of dynamic is this? Because this dynamic is not working out for me, obviously, because that's why I started getting arguments with teachers and stuff. I started getting arguments with other people who thought they could just run me. I'm not a program that you can run. I am a person. I am an individual with a brain just like you. And to think that you can try to control me is insane because I don't try to control people. I try to understand people and understand where they're at so that I know how to interact with that person. What gaze taught me to shrink, edit, or perform? The people pleaser gaze. Because being a people pleaser is literally shifting your whole personality to be accepted by this one person. Instead of just being yourself and then letting that person make the decision if they want to accept you or not. Let yourself revisit a moment, childhood or even last year, where you were shut down for showing too much truth, writing down in detail. Okay, so I'm gonna say it. 3 years ago when I told my mom that I dropped out of school and I wanted to create my podcast, she got real defensive and real angry at me because I dropped out. But that's when I shut down because that's when I realized I was going to be doing something that was going to be very important to me. Something that she doesn't have control over. She does not have control over my podcast. I have control. I created my LLC under my name and it's mine. And it's mine to do whatever I please. And she doesn't like the fact that I know how to do that. And honestly speaking, it was very frustrating to know that she didn't want to support my dreams. She wanted to support a character that I made up. And she couldn't tell the difference. Like, she couldn't tell that I was a creative. She could tell that I was a robot and wanted to be a soldier and wanted to be a people pleaser and always wanted to do what she wanted me to do. But when I started focusing on the things that I want to do and by creating my podcast and knowing that this is what I want to do, it's like the situation turned upside down, if that makes sense. Because with that, it's just like, as a mom, like, how do you not sit down and ask questions? Instead, you want to get upset. And that's what I always had to deal with. What did I start hiding after that? I started hiding way before that because I realized the kind of mom my mom was. She always wanted to know everything but never wanted to do anything about it, if that made sense. So I didn't tell her everything. And when I told her that I dropped out and I went and created my podcast, I wish I didn't tell her that soon, because then I would have been able to stay focused on my podcast more, if that makes sense. Because coming into starting in my podcast, I didn't start off with the right amount of confidence, because I didn't have the right amount of support and the right amount of people who were helping me, because at the time I thought I was going to have support and things of that sort. But it is what it is. Life just be life in a way where you don't have control over it. Because I don't have control over people's reactions, over what I say, over what I do. I can only focus on what I say and what I do, because that's the only thing I have control of. To protect our blooming selves, we build masks, we polish, we censor, we code switch, we armor, but armor over time becomes a cage. Oh, wow. That's real. We polish, we censor, we code switch, but armor over time becomes a cage. What version of myself do I feel safe or accepted? The version of myself that I feel safe and accepted is the version of myself that knows how to have a conversation, that knows how to listen, that knows how to take in information, knows how to give information, and just have an even exchange of energy, is knowing that we're okay as far as the energy that we provide, if that makes sense. Because all I know is I feel safe with that version of myself too. Question number, well, it's not no number, I'm sorry. What do I hide beneath the surface of being pliable, cool, or chill? I'm hiding the fact that I'm scared of my future. I'm scared of who I am climbing to be, because I'm 23 years old and I'm in my head like, damn, I'm only 23 years old. I'm in my 20s now. That means I have to starting to do things that make sense to me, and which is still doing this podcast. It still makes sense to me to still be doing this podcast and still be having clips, posting my clips and doing me and doing what I'm supposed to be doing, because I ain't got no choice but to stay focused and stay down to me. Because if I stay down and focus on somebody else's dream and somebody else's problems, how the fuck am I supposed to figure out my own, if that makes sense? What would I say, wear, create, or express if I didn't fear rejection? I mean, I feel like I'm already wearing the things that I wear right now, but I feel like I would be more girly girl. I feel like I would be more feminine, way more feminine, as far as like how I want to express myself with clothes and stuff, and how I want to express myself with my hair, and like maybe even get into makeup. We don't know, because like I say we because I'm just talking about my other versions of myself, because it's like I don't really care to do makeup, but I would like to care, if that makes sense, because that is something that I've always been interested in since I was a little girl. And being a little girl, I was always very feminine. Like I loved wearing high heels, I loved wearing lip gloss and stuff like that, and I still do. But you know, that little boy comes out, and I'm like, I just want to be comfortable today, if that makes sense. All right. The parts of you that glitch the system, your contradictions, your chaos, and your curves, your ancient, your magic, your wild thoughts, those are your blueprint. They were never meant to be tidy. What about me have I tried to fix that might not actually be holy? I tried to fix that version of myself that doesn't like girls, if that makes sense. Because me being bisexual, like I have that side of me that really likes men, and I have that side of me that really likes women. But I try to act like I don't like women, if that makes sense, because I feel like it's a shame to do that. I feel ashamed that I know that I'm attracted to women, and it's like that internalized homophobia that I have inside of me, that I try my best to try not to project onto others, and I try my best not to do that, but I do it to myself so much. And it's like knowing who I am is made it easier as far as my brain chemistry and knowing how to operate in life, but it's just like I still be shaming that side of me, if that makes sense. And I need to work on that, because I try to fix that part, but it's not a thing that needs to be fixed. It's something that just is, because that's just what it is. If I let that part of me bloom fully, what might become possible? What might become possible is that I might end up being with a girl for the first time. But I don't know if that's going to happen or not, because I'm not somebody that's out here trying to ask no girl out. I don't do stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I stay to myself. Like, I really stay to myself, and I don't do the whole extra theatric things. That's why I just keep to myself. And I'm being honest on the pod here because I really trust my space that I created here. And that's just where I'm at. All right. Dance away, stretch, stomp, whatever movement embodies, I am allowed to be seen as I am. Close by saying, I am not too much. I am not not enough. I am exactly the bloom I was meant to be. And that is the end of the shadow work, ladies and gentlemen. The shadow work prompt, the fear of being seen. We completed that. Thank you guys for listening to that. Now we're going to go back to the list of questions. Question number 11. When was the last time you felt our body? We're going to skip that question. Question number 12. What should we do more in What should I do more in my relationship to nurture its strength? So what should I do in my relationship with myself to nurture its strength is to take more time to myself. Like, get a massage. I have not gotten a massage yet. Like, I want to so bad so that I can feel safe in my body and so I can feel good. I want to be able to write in my journal, write like a daily reflection. They got daily reflections on this app too. And I will be finishing that because we just got daily reflections every day that we have to make sure that we have on point. I want to stay consistent with that. I want to stay consistent with my mirror work, which is looking myself in the mirror and telling myself I love myself, telling myself words of affirmations and things of that sort, and just being able to shower every day. Like, I shower every day, but I'm just saying it in the sense of that's important for your health, to be showering every day, to be brushing your teeth, to be washing your hair, to be making sure your nails and your feet are up to par, and making sure your body fluids are good, and make sure you're drinking your water and things of that sort too. Question number 13. If you had to pick one thing, what would I change about my life? What would I change about my life is my living situation. I would definitely be in my own apartment or my own house right now. That would be the one thing I would change, because that's what I feel like is my main thing right now. I just need my own space. Question number 14. What do you do to consider your own self-worth? What do I do to consider my own self-worth would be showing up for myself on the podcast, because that's showing that I care. When I upload every Sunday, I show that I care because I post that I upload every Sunday. So that's me showing that I genuinely care and that I genuinely want to be a better me every time I upload, if that makes sense. Question number 15. What is a past commitment you regretted later? A past commitment would have been going to SU. I thought that was going to be a commitment. I thought I was going to do my 4 years and graduate. But then once I sat in those classrooms, by the time I got to my second semester, I just knew I wasn't going to be there for the next 3 years, because I just knew, like, it was not the school. It was not the right school for me. I didn't feel safe being a black girl there. I wasn't really talking to people. I didn't really care to make friends. I didn't really care to talk to the teachers. I just did my work and was silent in the back of the class, and I didn't really care to do no extracurricular activities. And I tried to do club lacrosse, but that didn't work out neither, just because of how situations were. So I would say trying to commit myself to SU. Number 16. What were you doing the last time you felt judged, or what did or can you do to overcome that feeling? The last time that I was doing something that made me feel judged was being in the psych ward, like having people look at me and always having cameras on me and stuff. it felt like I was being judged in the psych ward because I had so many cameras on me and stuff, and it was just so many people asking me questions, and it was just feeling like I was the only one who was feeling misunderstood the most, especially taking this new medication. I feel like I've been misunderstood. I don't like this medication that I'm on, and I have a doctor's appointment today, actually, and I will let it be known, if that makes sense, because you got to advocate for yourself. You have to let it be known when something is working, when something is not working, because if you don't, then you're going to let people run all over you, if that makes sense. So, yeah. We're going to skip question number 17. Question number 18. Besides other people, what else do you love? I love music. I really love music, and I love lacrosse. I love lacrosse, and I love music, and I love the fact that I can implement the two in my own way, because that's what I'm trying to learn how to do, create my own lane, because nobody's doing lacrosse and music the way that I'm doing it in my hometown, and I just feel like the way that I think about it is so differently than how I present it, if that makes sense. Because I have big ideas, and I will accomplish them because I believe that I will. Because I know that I'm going to make time for it, if that makes sense. Question number 19. When have you let your passions gone too far, and what do you think about those experiences now? I don't think I let my passions go too far because I know how to keep it tucked, if that makes sense. Like, I know how to talk about it in a way where it makes sense, but then in other ways, I just don't do too much, because I barely talk about my podcast outside of talking about it here, because I just know that I just want to implement more stuff before I start to really talk about it, if that makes sense. As far as with strangers and things of that sort. Question number 20. What do you have in abundance in your life? What do you have in abundance in your life? I feel like my abundance in life is the energy that I carry. I feel like I carry a lot of good energy despite a lot of bad things happening to me, despite going to the war, despite being called on the police twice, despite having situations where I was left for dead, like, in a way, like spiritually, emotionally, not necessarily physically. I'm very grateful for not physically, but like, you can still emotionally abuse and spiritually abuse someone, and I feel like I've been emotionally and spiritually abused by a lot of people in my life, and I still stand tall in my energy. I still stand tall in my good energy, because that's where I feel like my power lies in. My power lies in peace, love, and positivity. That's why I say it every time when I end off this pod, because that's how I feel in real life. It doesn't matter if I'm going through it. I'm still going to stand tall. I'm still going to have love in me despite whatever. I'm always going to have love in me, because that's my superpower. That's what I feel like my superpower is. But yeah, that's the end of my questions, and that's the end of the sacral chakra part 2. Like, we are healing our sacral chakra part 2. I'm healing my sacral chakra part 2. We are at the end, and we will be at the next chakra, which I don't know right now. We'll see until next week, because we'll be doing 2 weeks of each of the chakras, and I'm very grateful that I'm ending off this week with the sacral chakra. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for tuning in. And like I always say, stay out the way and stay loving yourself. And excuse me for being so down and low. Again, I'm on my medication. I'm on the injections that I said that I was on, and it's only about to be a month in since I've gotten them, and I'm not going to be on them anymore. I promise you that. My energy is going to be way better. I'm just being transparent and honest so y'all know where I'm at, because y'all seeing it's a different me every week as far as energy wise. Well, I know energy wise, I feel like I'm still the same, but I'm saying, like, as far as how I'm presenting myself, yeah, because I think that definitely plays a factor. But again, stay loving yourself and stay out the way. Don't forget to check out my Instagrams, Twitters, and the TikToks, and don't forget to check out my Logical Mind socials. And again, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Peace, love, and positivity. Logical Minds.